Now, I know this sounds counterintuitive, but when you let go of a few things that I'm going to share with you in this video, you then attract money, love, success easier than you've ever done it before. And once you get a taste of it, you'll never go back. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why money, love, and success comes when you let go, which is so counterintuitive because for a long time, even I was chasing money, love, and success. It was something that I desired. And when I read the book, Think and Grow Rich, it was like, you need to have a white, hot, burning desire. And that's what I did for a long time is I had a focus on that. And it honestly did move me in that direction. And because then the energy starts to flow. And you'll find as well that when I'm sharing with you in this is the two biggest shifts in my life, and it came from this one technique of letting go. I'm going to show you how to do that and how that absolutely transformed my life. However, understand that there are different levels of vibration, what we call vibration. Now, I know that sounds like an esoteric term. If you've ever read the book called Power versus Force, you maybe seen my other videos where I talk about it, but it has to do with calibrating different energies based on muscle testing. Muscle testing is connected to our subconscious mind, which then allows us to become aware of the different levels within us or the different levels of consciousness within us, different emotions in a way. And you'll see down here, you'll see fear, anger, neutrality, reason, love. There's more emotions as well, but these are the primary emotions that as we begin to move up, we then raise our vibration. When we raise our vibration, our level of consciousness, we perceive of things from a new level, and not only do we do that, but we feel better. We enjoy life more. And as I look at my own journey from kind of where I was to where I'm at now, I literally feel like my life is just an ecstatic dream in a way. I enjoy life. I love what I do. I live life on my terms. And when I let go and I learned that technique, that's when everything changed. However, what we may need to hear at certain levels may be a little bit different. When I'm sharing the most powerful technique I've ever learned of letting go, it's coming from a level of this mid-level right here. However, we must also let go of the bottom levels to get to the mid-level. Now, the mid-level is about willpower and moving in a certain direction. And that will help many people get to what they call success. It's deciding this is who I am now. And the midsection right here, all the way up to reasoning. So you have shame, guilt, fear, anger, then neutrality, which is a big step. Then you have reason, which is the mind, which is understanding our beliefs create our reality. And when we understand that our beliefs create our reality, we can then architect reality the way we want. And then we have that of love. And love is the connection inside the heart. Einstein resonated at 499. That's where he calibrated because he took the mind as far as he could take it. But in order to get into love, he'd have to completely let go of the intellectual ideas, which is something he was starting to learn or beginning to learn towards the end of his life. Now, it doesn't mean you need to be Einstein smart in order to get into love. Sometimes reasoning can actually be a trap because you become so, in a way, fascinated with the intellect that it keeps you from getting into love. So the key to this, though, is understanding that it is truly about letting go to become successful, to attract love, and to attract that of money. Now, the reason being is because as you raise your vibration, your energy becomes more potent. You become more in alignment with also your purpose, what you're meant to be doing in life. And then from there, things happen even easier for you. When we're attached, the thing that keeps us from raising our vibration is attachment. All pain and suffering comes from attachment. The more attached we are, the more we suffer. And maybe think about it. There's been times I've been attached to the outcome of things, and that's all I think about, and I end up butchering it up the more I think about it. If I'm attracted to a certain person and I really think about them and I put them on a pedestal, I then create resistance around them because I'm attached to the image in my mind that I have of them. And I'll tell you right now that when it comes to attracting love and money or abundance, the key is letting go of it altogether. Think about what letting go really signifies as well. Letting go signifies that I'm already love. I'm already abundant. Letting go signifies and is also an attractive quality. It's an attractive trait. If you are intending and wanting someone else to think a certain way about you, that wanting and thinking about them a certain way is putting out an energy of desperation. I want you. I would be more complete if I had you. But if you send out the message that I'm already whole and complete, I'm in the star of my own movie, that's an attractive quality. Now, the first thing I want to share when it comes to letting go is these are the things we're going to let go of. We're going to learn to let go of. This is what really allows us to raise our vibration, which the more we raise our vibration, the more magical life becomes. Our definitions about reality are the attachment that we have to the outcome. It's been a major lesson for me is learning how to let go of outcome. Not needing the ego to do everything, but trusting the process as well. Then being right. The necessity to be right will keep us in suffering. I figured this out actually yesterday when I had a call with my bank, because every time I go to log into my bank, for some reason, no matter, I swear I'm putting in the correct password of exactly what I set the password to, but it always suspends my account. Then I got to come up with a new password. I can only think of so many passwords. And then it sends me on this endless loop where no matter what new password I create, I'll then go to create the password, and then I'll go to log in, and it just keeps saying incorrect password. So I had a call with the bank, and I talked to them, and then I went to technical support, and they called me back like 2 days later after they looked into it. And what I realized is I may have just been entering the password wrong. And then after 2 or 3 tries, it goes suspended. And then it just, that loop of suspendedness just kept on happening. However, I realized that when I was talking to the representative, I was attached to being right. I was like, no, you don't understand. I keep putting in the exact same password. And the guy was like, well, you gotta understand, I could see the password that you're typing it in. And it's very, very close, but it's a little bit different of what you're typing in. But I was so attached to being right that being right was keeping me in lower vibration. It was keeping me from actually being and being in a state where then my energy is contagious. I'm able to make videos easier. You see, these attachments keep us in low vibe even in different areas of our life. Like when I go to then make a video, maybe it's not as potent because I'm kind of resistant from these other things that were happening. Now, you may have heard my story before. I do share it in many videos, mainly because I've had over 1,000, 1,300 videos on this channel, and can only have so many stories. However, you've probably heard, if you've heard my stories before, and if you haven't, then you know that a lot of my past was dealt with in the anger, fear, neutrality. A lot of it was blame because I had a painful childhood. And because of that kept me in low vibration. And for years, I was repeating cycles in a way. Because I had an abusive ex-stepmom in my life, she's no longer in my life. 15 years old, my dad divorced her, but from 7 to 15, which is also a life cycle, by the way, I find that interesting. A life cycle is 7 years in numerology, and for the second life cycle of my life, from 7 to 15 years old, my ex-stepmom was in my life. She was controlling emotionally, physically, and mentally. And my brother and I lived, we were in this house. My dad's a firefighter, he wasn't home very often. My brother and I, many times were locked outside working. We weren't allowed to have friends. We had to earn going to school. And that's why we probably really liked school. It's probably because that was an escape from being home. However, between 7 and 15, we had almost no freedom. We'd have to sneak food to get enough to eat. And because of this like survival mentality, even after 15 years old comes around, my dad divorces her, I still have this pattern of, especially with women, I associated women with trying to control me. So the first 2 or 3 girlfriends I had were really trying to control me. And it was an unconscious pattern that I have. And even after I broke up with one of those girlfriends, within a week I got promoted at the job that I had at Nordstrom's in women's shoes to a department where the manager was the same exact controlling way. It was a pattern that was on autopilot until I became aware of it. Now what I learned to do is I had to become aware, and I learned how to neutralize those thoughts, the perspectives, the beliefs, the meanings I gave to the past. Because I gave the meaning to the past that I wasn't worthy. And because I was attached to that, I was experiencing a reality that was on autopilot. And I think I might actually have this little thing right here that kind of shows how this actually works. We have beliefs, which then cause feelings, which then cause thoughts, actions, and results, and it fuels it. I had the belief that I wasn't worthy. And because I had the belief I wasn't worthy, I then got felt I was unworthy. Then actions I would take, because I would only take action to the level that I thought I was unworthy, and I'd get that result, and it was a cycle that just kept on happening. Now, the other belief that I had was that I had ADHD, and there was something wrong with me, because I had a lot of energy, and people would say things about me. I had that 9-to-5 job that I had, and some people would always talk, I hear people talking about me sometimes about how much energy I had, and my energy was kind of more sporadic as well. And because of that, it was this cycle where I didn't feel like I was enough, felt like something was wrong, the actions I would take, the results, it was a cycle. Now, the biggest shift I had was when I learned how to let go of all of these things by neutralizing them, by learning meditation. Meditation was one of the huge shifts in my life. I learned how to observe the meanings I gave things to the past, to observe the labels, the definitions and the labels I had. And when I learned how to observe them, that's where I started to become more powerful. That's where I could then let it go. And when I let it go, I started to realize that money, love, and success started to come to me easier than ever. And it became because I was letting go of patterns. I was completing the past. When you complete the past, you no longer have to repeat the past. Now, the other side of this is then becoming aware that the more we desire and attach ourselves to things is the more resistance we create around something. So the key is to let go and to trust the universe. That is the next step. So first, neutralizing thoughts, getting a meditation practice can be so transformative for this. Now the next step is becoming aware that reasoning, the belief system we have, and right under over neutrality is willingness. Willingness is the willpower. Now what happens is once we start to get certain results, we start to associate pleasure with that. For example, you may start to go in a certain direction and you might start to focus on something that you want to create in your life. And the more you do it, the more rewards you get, the more recognition you get, whatever it is. And that fuels you to keep on doing it. I started making daily videos on YouTube, and then I started getting results. And then I was like, this is a good thing. This is a positive thing. So I just kept making YouTube videos, and I've done that now for 3 years. That's willpower. That's the discipline. However, what I've realized is that this work hard mentality that I had a definition that I had to work hard, a belief that I had to work hard to be successful. And because of that, it was keeping me from enjoying life, feeling love, and knowing that my ego doesn't have to control everything. So you see, these different levels become traps sometimes. And the key to this is becoming aware of the paradigm you might be at. I was at a paradigm where I believed I needed to work hard to be successful. And therefore, that was something that was my reality. Until I became aware that I can let go of this belief, you become aware. Awareness really is the key to this whole process, by the way. Awareness, because once you become aware, you can then let go. You can't let go what you're not aware of. So that's exactly what I did. Is I let go of that work hard mentality, and I focused instead on trying to get to an external point in the future. I focused on enjoying the present moment. And I'll tell you right now, once I did that, my whole life really began to change. I could then do less and get more. I then was like, oh, I need to find like YouTube videos that'll do well so that it brings in more people and they were able to spread the message and able to help more people. And having that perspective was like always like I had a carrot that was dangling in front of me and I was chasing it. I was chasing it around trying to catch it. But then what I did is I simply decided I was going to let it go and trust that the universe would bring me that which I was in alignment with by just enjoying life, having more fun. I realized I was also becoming a little bit more serious with life the more that I was trying to get somewhere else. And the more that then I ended up enjoying life, let go of the outcome, and released it and allowed the universe to bring it to me, is the more it actually came to me easier. I started to trust my intuition more. I made videos on some esoteric ideas, and those videos ended up doing really well, even though my mind, the paradigm I was at, was afraid of what people would think of me if I made certain videos. Made some videos on star seeds and some esoteric concepts. But I trusted that that was my passion. I trusted that I could believe in myself and that there was a purpose behind it. And as I let go of what people thought, and I started to do what I was passionate about, what I loved talking about, guess what happened? More abundance came than ever before. The channel then went from I think like 300,000 or 400,000 subscribers up to 500,000 or 600,000 subscribers within a couple months. And all I did was let go. When I look at love and attracting love, the more that I desired it, I realized the more resistance I was creating. So what I became aware of is once I let go of thinking that I needed a relationship to be happy, or that would somehow be something I needed, I then started to enjoy life more. I let go of it. I let go of the outcome. And guess what happened? I let go of the outcome. I went to Costa Rica with some friends, and we went for a week, and some other YouTubers as well. And I ended up connecting with someone there that I ended up being in a relationship with for about a year. And it was an amazing relationship. And she's To this day, one of my absolute best friends. Many of you know her. Her name is Leor. And that also, from that relationship, I learned a lot of letting go of outcome, letting go of also conditions. I learned a lot about unconditional love from that. Now you might see that and say, well, there's not love in your life, right? How can you talk about attracting love if you're not in a relationship right now? Well, I don't necessarily want to be in a relationship right now. Doesn't mean I don't know how to do it. However, realize I don't know how to do it. That implies the ego. The point of this is letting go. The more I let go is the more that these things happen anyways. Because when we try to control, we're doing it from the paradigm of the ego. But when we allow, guess what happens? When we focus on our own state, that's where magic is. The more I let go of wanting or needing love, the more I was a star of my own movie, enjoying life, and the more I was in a higher vibrational state, the more that I was then attractive to other people. And same for you. You're an attractive person, especially when you let go of outcome, when you're the star of your own movie, when you let go of believing you need it to be happy. So realize that that's the way our reality works, is the way we raise our vibration is by simply letting go. And the more we let go, the more we let in. The more we let go is the more we raise our vibe, and that's when reality becomes even magical. Over love is joy, peace, and enlightenment. In the book Autobiography of a Yogi, maybe you've heard me talk about that before, it shows Paramahansa Yogananda goes through it's literally an autobiography of his life, and he talks about how he met enlightened gurus in India that could do literally magical things we wouldn't even think possible, because they were of the level of consciousness of enlightenment, which means that they also knew that reality is a form of dream. We believe it is solid and heavy, and that's why it's solid and heavy. They know reality is a dream, therefore it's more flexible for them. So the key to this whole process is letting go. Letting go, which isn't always comfortable. Because we think and we identify so much with something that we think that it makes us who we are. But I'll tell you right now, the more you let go, is the more you will find that things happen even magical for you. Now, I do have a video that's on how to stop chasing money, love, and success, and I show you exactly what to do instead. It's a very powerful video. I'll go ahead and link it right here. Check out that video. It'll help you to understand much more about this process and give you a completely new paradigm for it. And other than that, as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace, much love, and namaste.